I can guarantee there is no job easier than this. Just don't get dressed, lie in bed and sleep all night. And the next day you'll have a lot of money in your pocket. And this pie doesn't fall for nothing, because while they're sleeping, they don't know who's been in the room, who had touched their bodies. The girl's name is Lisa. Her family is very poor. She had to pay for her education by working multiple part-time jobs. Working as a guinea pig for a pharmaceutical company, helping print materials at a print store, coming to work as a waitress in a restaurant after a day's travel to be able to barely cover her expenses. But since she had a boyfriend, Lisa's life has become more difficult again. In order to have a better life, Lisa applied for a higher paying position again, and this time, the requirements were very strange. The interviewer was a blonde. Lisa had to pass a full body check. There must be no flaws in her body to pass the interview requirements. Faced with the temptation of a high salary, Lisa still accepted. At the blonde's request, she slowly took off her clothes. After a short inspection, Lisa passed the interview, qualified for the job. Late night Lisa was soon on the job. She will be wearing a special uniform, serving tea and wine to the nobles. In just 2 hours, Lisa had a good income. Over the course of a few days, Lisa was no longer financially strapped. She also stopped living in a shared apartment. Instead, she rented a luxury suite to live in. As time passed, with Lisa's good performance, Blondie also introduced her to better-paying jobs. At first, Lisa could hardly contain her excitement, but when she got in the car, she became extremely nervous again. She couldn't calm down her emotions for a long time. After some time of driving, Lisa was guided by the driver. She came to a stop in front of a manor house deep in the jungle. She stepped out of the car and was about to walk into the house when she saw a girl not far away was being helped to come out. Lisa was very nervous. Just then the blonde came out. Lisa finally gritted her teeth and followed her in. The blonde took her and put her into a nightgown. She sat Lisa on the couch. She made a potion for Lisa herself, and the potion was a tranquilizer. There was a new rule. You need to drink it and get some sleep. Faced with the temptation of money, Lisa did not hesitate. She drank it straight away. She lay down on the soft bed in the room and fell asleep. Unbeknownst to her, an old man, Blondie, also brought into this room. I've never seen such an effortless money-making job. Just sleep and get a good paycheck. Lisa gladly agreed. But little did she know that while she was sleeping, an old man entered her room. He nimbly undressed and lay down on the bed. The night was over. By the time Lisa was ready to be sent home, found herself tired than the day before. I didn't feel anything else, thinking it was a side effect of the sedative. So Lisa put the matter behind her. But when she came to work at the print store, Lisa fell asleep on the floor because she was too tired. That's how she fell asleep. Lisa successfully lost a part-time job, but Lisa didn't care. Now that she has earned more money, she doesn't care about this anymore. She has taken her part-time job as a sleeping beauty as a full-time job to get more money to treat her depressed boyfriend. Lisa didn't feel any resistance to sedatives. She drank them freely and directly. Soon Lisa was in bed again, asleep, and the blonde brought in another man. After a good night's sleep, Lisa took the car to go home again. But just then Lisa noticed something wrong with her body. Now, besides being tired, her neck was still aching. The more Lisa thought about it, the more scared she became. But she didn't need the money and couldn't give up. To find comfort, Lisa found her addict boyfriend. She wanted to get a little warmth here, but what she didn't expect was, when Lisa arrived here, the addict boyfriend was suffering from long-term drug addiction, could not bear to choose to end himself. By the time Lisa saw him, he was lying on the bed without breathing. Lisa couldn't stand all this, lying in her boyfriend's arms. As time passed by, her boyfriend's body became colder and colder, until there was no more breath. At the funeral, Lisa was relieved of it all. The goal that she had been fighting for was gone. Lisa also planned to return to her normal life, no longer in the sleeping beauty business. Instead, she worked honestly as a waitress. But there's still a greedy side to people. She was used to working in a fast-paying job. This little income is really not good for Lisa, so Lisa set out on her journey as a sleeping beauty again. After the discomfort she felt after the last time she came out, Lisa was also eager to know what was going on. To find out the truth, Lisa first went to the camera store and bought a mini camera from it to be placed in her sleeping room. This is a job that pays tens of thousands of dollars a day, just lying naked in bed. You can get it by sleeping overnight. The girl in front of me did it. Only after each time there are different conditions on her body. But for the money, Lisa endured it. This day she came to the manor as usual. The blonde brought up the tranquilizer without saying a word. Lisa hesitated for a long time, asked the blonde if she could not drink this time. She was curious about what had happened during the night. But when Lisa asked, Blondie decisively refused the offer because it would reveal the client's identity information. Lisa had no choice but to do as she was told. She took a sip of the tranquilizer and drank it under the blonde's watchful eye. Just when she thought Lisa had fallen asleep. I didn't expect. Lisa woke up with her strong willpower because she was so curious about what was going on. To find out what was going on, Lisa struggled to sit up, spitting out a mini camera from inside her mouth, and then lay back down with difficulty. Just as Lisa was finishing up, Blondie came in with an old man with white hair. This was Lisa's first customer. This time it became a repeat customer. After a short conversation, Blondie walked out of the room, leaving the rest of the day to the old man. After a long night, Blondie entered the room early. She gently opened the window, letting in the sunlight. Then she went to the bedside, ready to wake up the old man who was still sleeping. After touching the old man twice, Blondie's expression turned grave because the old man's body had become cold. Blondie had no choice but to sit at the end of the bed. She was ready to call Lisa to explain the matter to her. She gently pinched Lisa's toes to wake her up, but when she saw that Lisa did not move, she panicked. This is her moneymaker. The blonde couldn't care less. She sat on Lisa and shook her violently. Luckily, she was fine. Lisa just overdosed on tranquilizers and fell asleep. Lisa woke up from her sleep. She was scared to see a strange old man lying next to her. She breathed heavily and tried to calm herself down. But it didn't help much. The film ends here with a scream. In life, we still need to work honestly with our hands. We can't be greedy for quick money and do something against our conscience. Otherwise, we may become the second Lisa. But after this painful lesson, I believe that Lisa will not go back to this industry. The next step will be honest. Earn clean money with your hands. That's all the content of today's movie. For those of you who like it, don't forget to move your hands. See you next time.